So I'm keeping up with the food of just cooking breakfast for my kids. Well, my son, because my daughter's not open yet. So I never wanted to have I always said I was one kid and done. I never expected to have two kids. But having two kids is a blessing. And even though I'm, technically married, and I still technically because it's only on paper, but we're not together, we haven't been, he still says that he wants to work things out. But here's my perspective on wanting to work things out. If you want to work things out, you would have to first actually try. Not still talking to random females, not still sending random females money, not still, complaining about stuff, because I actually did try for a while. Now every time he does say he's gonna try, I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Because at the end of the day, I know for a fact that you're not going to. So for me, it's just like, okay, well, you say that, but I don't even have to go through the phone or go through emails or anything to know that what you're doing is
not respawning. Not respawning.
You gotta wait.
I think there's that messed up thing.
You gotta wait.
Okay.
To be actually committed. And actually try. Not just like you want to try, because honestly, if you could have married anybody else, I say this all the time because I truly believe it, not because like I would want anything bad to happen. Somebody would have, and whoever he chose to marry other than me, would have unalived him a long time ago, because the stuff that he does is not okay. Like, I don't know, and he wasn't raised that way. And from like the cousins that I went to church the other day, so we go to church, the church we go to, I was in the area, and I was like, oh Lord, I haven't been to church in a while, let me just go to church. And since I'm up the street from that particular church, let me just go and figure out, what's going on, you know what I mean? So I didn't go into the sanctuary because it was too loud. So I got outside, and my son went to spacer or skater or whatever they call it. Each church has their own little thing that they do on the church algorithm. It was, we didn't do that throughout the whole service. We just had, Sunday school. It was called Sunday school. So, it's different. It's definitely more difficult being a mom too. Would I have another kid? Yeah, I think I would. I say that now, because I just have her and things are going as smoothly as they can, given the circumstances. But I know as she gets older, as things change in my life, I'm probably gonna take my mind on that. Her dad is dead set on getting the me. I don't know because I kept saying it or whatever, but honestly, I don't believe him. I don't believe all the things that he says.
Brand new basketball. I want to buy a new one.
Believe that they, I don't know, like, I just don't believe him. I think that they make a lot of stuff up. I believe him about the mental health because he is going to the doctor about mental health. I don't understand how if somebody's telling you something could help you, but you're not going to want to willingly do it because they said that you should. That's kind of effed up to me because you have kids. Not one, you have more than one, and you only want to work part-time. You're not willing to work full-time because you said you can't handle it mentally or whatever. Okay, I can't handle it mentally working full-time with just one kid. So, and I'm, wait a little bit longer before I go back to work. So I can, as long as I possibly can, realistically. And, do that. So I have the ability right now, it's a little bit of a struggle, but I have the ability right now. So great to go back to work, and I plan on going back to work, but I never not worked. Even when I lost my job, I would do Instacart, I would do DoorDash, I would do Uber Eats. So yeah, it was kind of like whatever type thing, but it's something, to be like, okay, well, I'm out of work, I just work on my things, I'm able to do all that, and I do a part-time job here and there. I keep putting it off, but I'm actually probably gonna, Amazon has this thing where you can do like a voice actor, that's not the right word. You can read books and, do the audiobooks. So I'm thinking about doing that, because I prefer reading for like the past, my son is 6 years, to do the audiobooks and read books. I do read books to my kids. I'm trying to get more better with that. I'm also trying not to be my mom. Like, being a mom, I realized I have a lot of issues with that I didn't realize I had. So it's, and like, I laugh and I smile when I talk about stuff like this, but deep down, like, it really hurts me. Like, I didn't know any of that stuff wasn't normal. Because, okay, my mom, they raised me from the islands. So, growing up, all I hung out with was other island people who, I guess they all got in a group, decided collectively they were going to adopt kids. So, the people that she hung out with, I think besides one couple that lives at the end of the block that owns the street that we lived on, I believe they didn't adopt any kids. I'm not sure if they had kids, I don't remember. So I don't think they adopted, but they were from Jamaica as well, I believe. Yeah, I don't think we hung out with any Jamaicans or any other islands. I think everybody was basically from Jamaica. The church we went to, I would say 1% wasn't Jamaican. Everybody else was from Jamaica. So it's and I say 1%, like the people that they married, if they didn't get married from Jamaica and they didn't, do it on their own to get to America, they probably married somebody who was a U.S. citizen, and it's that way. But yeah, so some people are like, oh, my mom did this, my mom did that. But like, oh, okay, what did you do? like things you do to cause that reaction. For me, I don't think I did anything. I mean, I wasn't a perfect child. I, you know, made mistakes growing up. I was quiet. I started acting out. And the reason why I started acting out was I felt when I turned 9, things kind of shifted. I can't tell you why I feel that way. It's just that that's how I felt. I felt that things shifted for the house with regarding to the mom that raised me. Now, she's my mom. I got 2 moms. I always say I got 2 moms. One's adopted, one's birthed me. So the one that raised me, I felt things shifted. I can't say why, but I felt like, I don't know, I just feel like things shifted. I don't know if that's maybe when, because I was adopted in another state, or why when they stopped coming to the house. I really can't say. I do recall very few memories when we did have social worker come to the house. She told me to be still or whatever and not, you know, cause a scene or whatever. But of course, you know, being a kid, I didn't listen. I went and got my books.
Okay.
And I was reading them. I remember my favorite at the time, I think, being David. It was a book about this kid named David, and the whole book was about people telling him no when he was doing certain things. So I remember getting that book, and I was reading it to the social worker, and like I could remember looking at her, and because I didn't just bring a book, I think I brought some toys out. And I remember looking at her, and she just looked very, very annoyed. So I couldn't figure out in my childish head why she had that look, but looking back now, so when I remember things, I don't know, I might not remember things correctly because I was a little kid. But I remember thinking, like, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem like, you know, a loving parent who put a child into the home, not for the money, but, you know, help a child in need, should be annoyed that the child is from the church with their heart. I'm loved and cared for in the house, food, work, whatever. And then I remember another instance, I think it was like close to Christmas, or maybe it was after my birthday, I don't remember. It was either my birthday or Christmas, and she had bought a bag of toys. And I remember being so happy with these bags of toys, because I can't remember having toys prior to that. I might have gotten like Hennessy toys or whatever, but I can't remember having like actual toys after that, or prior to the lady giving me a bag of toys. So talking about the toys, she let me open the toys in front of the lady, and I remember taking back to my room. At some point, either when I went to school or whatever, at some point, she took the toys and then gathered it up in a bag. I don't remember if it was the same bag that they were brought in, or it was another bag, but it was a big black trash bag. And I believe she said the reason was because I wasn't behaving. So she picked them up and she put them in the garage, or she put them in the attic. I believe she put them in the garage, and then I found it, and slowly by slowly I would bring some toys back in. So it was nice toys. Like I had a Barbie car, I had like different Barbie dolls, and I was having like a black Barbie doll. one body doll I did get rid of. Like, I didn't object. Like, I was sad that she took it away, but I didn't object to her getting rid of it because it was kind of creepy. We got the hurricane party, and we went to, I guess, a hurricane relief thing, and they were handing out toys, and one of the very dark, looked like a voodoo doll. Knowing what I know now about voodoo dolls and how they were supposed to look, that's what that doll looked like. Like, I could picture the doll in my mind. I could picture me holding the doll, and at some point when we got back to the house, it disappeared. And that's generally how it went. Like, it would disappear. Then it was a lot. Like, I can't. So I have issues with that. Like, I have issues with that. And then the night where she cut my wrist, not my wrist, well, I guess it's kind of my wrist. It's like my hand, so like in this area, like I have a scar. She told me to tell the doctor that I fell. It was the same thing when we went to go, when she went to go sign me up for job corps. Job corps would not admit anybody who's going there against their will. I was the youngest at the time. And the director was like, why am I here? Because I believe I was just had turned 16, like prior to that I was about to turn 17 that August. He was like, why are you here? I remember him during orientation saying, why are you here? And I don't like to be called out. I don't like to be, I swear if I was light skinned, my whole face would have been red. I want to be put on spotlight. I don't like it. So I remember feeling really embarrassed when he called me out for that. And I remember him saying, we're going to talk afterwards. I don't recall if we ever talked afterwards. I don't think we did. I think he kind of just forgot about it and moved on. But if you want to hear more of my job careers, that would be another video on the playlist about it. From what I remember, because I don't remember a lot. But anyway, going back to how I want to raise my kids. I want them to always know, like, you know, like I'll tell my son, like, hey, I'm gonna throw your toys away. I don't really mean that I'm gonna throw his toys away. He doesn't know that I'm not gonna throw his toys away. But I do say, hey, if you don't do this, I'm gonna throw your toys away. But I continuously buy him stuff because I feel like, and I might have this wrong. Like, I really might have it wrong. I might remember stuff wrong because, again, you know, I'm a child, so I'm not going to remember everything correctly. So I might really just have it wrong. But that impacted me. Also, it was after, like, you know, I had, like, my sister, she was living in Orlando, like near the Orlando area at the time. Like, I remember going up to Thanksgiving with her then now husband. She wouldn't live there for him. You can't tell me otherwise. Like, she was up there for a guy. She didn't live there to get away or whatever. So she had just her house. She was habitat community. So why would you then move, you know, if you weren't moving for a guy? Like, that didn't make any sense to me. After you got a house, you have to start the community. And I don't know if she ended up selling the house or if she still has that house. But they end up getting a house where they're at now. So with that being said, okay. I'll keep you complete. It's a lot that I have. So when affairs, you know, whatever. They were telling me it was my fault. I was acting out and basically justifying what I now know as abuse. Her actions, basically justifying her actions. Oh, she wouldn't have did that if you weren't doing this. And there was an incident prior to that. It was like months prior to that. I was dealing with like an older guy, whatever. It all came to a head and she was whatever. But regardless of regardless of that happening in the past, you just, okay, so the story is, I came home from school. Here's what I normally do. I came home by myself. Nobody was at the house. Came in by myself. So Vampire Diaries is still on TV at that time. So they had, I believe Netflix was out, but it was still like the CDs. It wasn't like a streaming service. Or was it called a streaming service or something? I don't know, but we didn't have that. All we had was cable. And I say that like, you know, everybody could afford cable. Not everybody could afford cable, but that's what we had in our house. I remember at one point we had satellite, but then I guess they didn't like it after a while, so they switched to cable. But anyway, I came home from school. I made some hot chocolate. And this is where I kind of get almost done, but we'll go quick. Thank you. This is where I kind of get annoyed because regardless of how long the cup's been sitting, I can get up from where I was sitting at. I made hot chocolate or granite coffee. I don't remember. I really don't remember. Anyway, I was drinking either coffee or hot chocolate out of a mug. And I had finished it. So I was like, you know what, next commercial, I'm going to get up and wash the cup out. Ended up watching the commercial because it was like something interesting, I believe. And then the show came back on. I was like, there's a commercial, I'm going to get up and watch it. This went on for like several commercials. Because I believe the episode was like 45 minutes. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go and check. Yeah, I believe the episodes are like 45 minutes. So it's several commercials at this point. So she came back in from wherever she went. She was visibly upset. This is where I started noticing that if she was upset with somebody else, she would take it out on me. Nobody believes me when I say this, but it's true. And you know, she was upset with, she had a friend, and she let their son move into like a rental house that we had. It was originally my brother's house, but I guess the story is that once we found out he wasn't the first person on the mortgage, he stopped paying for it. I don't know, I was a kid when all that went down, so I can't speak on it. But that's basically what happened. So I don't have hot chocolate. So doing that, you know, it was kind of like, okay, whatever. At one point we moved into the house because she got married with her husband, the only father that I know. Cut it out. So she got to argue with me into the house. I switched schools. But at some point, I think this was like before we moved into the house, or afterwards. I believe it was before we moved into the house. She had the family friend's son living in the house. And I guess he got into some type of argument because she came home mad saying that he was cussing her out and you know, whatever. So where the house was, it was a homeowners association type space. So she would call them love letters. She would say, you know, they wrote her a love letter. And I guess he had like too many cars, or there was something with the grass or something. It was something that I guess she had gotten a letter about, and I guess she went over there to dress it or something had broke. I am not 100% sure. It was something. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It was something though. So either way, she came home mad. So I'm still sitting there watching TV, and I say I wasn't allowed to watch TV, which is true. I really wasn't. So when they weren't here, when I would watch TV, like I wasn't allowed to watch certain kids shows. So like everybody's, oh, have you seen this show? Have you seen that show? Have you seen? No, I have not. I could watch Dr. Phil. I could watch Oprah. I could watch The Doctors. I could watch TLC, A Baby Story. The Magic School Bus came on after Baby Stories. All of that was fine and well. You know, and I can't talk about things with her because she's no longer here, and prior to that she had dementia. So I never got to resolve any of that, and if I try to talk about that with siblings, they don't believe me. So it had to put like a little bit of strain on our relationship. But so she came home and she was upset, saying that he cussed her out and he did this and he did that, and I guess it ended with her telling them that they had to leave. So I was sitting there, you know, I think I was in middle school at this time. Yeah, I had to be because I was walking home and the middle school was like up the street. So, I, you know, came home or whatever, and, you know, she came in with my dad, and they was talking about it, they was upset. She looked over at me, she seen the cup. So my dad had a recliner, and we had like this little green plastic end table. So the green cup sit on the green end table. So, I guess she had left some dishes in the sink. I think that's why I procrastinated, because I didn't want to wash the dishes and miss the show. So I think she had like a fork and a plate still in the sink. I guess from when they ate something before they left. So she's like, you were sitting there all day, you didn't get up to wash the dishes or something. Like it was something pertaining to the dishes. So she turned her anger on me. So I lightly got up and I lightly tossed the remote onto the couch. Now when I tell the story, I'm laughing because it just didn't seem like, you know, I mean, I can't hold on to anger, so, because if I hold on to anger, it affects my kids, and I don't want to affect my kids. You know, she was like, this, that, the third, and then she was like, oh, you threw the remote against the wall, you could have broke the remote, and I wish I can show you guys how, okay, say this remote, that's really what I did, but the couch is like right here, that's literally what I did, like, it wasn't wrong, I just, so for her to say that, I was like, I didn't throw the remote. Now, this is where I don't like Dad everything. He did an awesome job. I'm not going to take away from him. He did an awesome job. Great provider. We did not stop her from what she was about to do at all. My sister gave me a couple of wigs, so I think I have like one of the wig on that she had given me. It was like red and black. And as she proceeded to try to so she tried to get me, and at that point the cup, at some point it was, I can't recall how it happened, I think I was trying to get away from her, and the table flipped and the cup broke. And at some point, she picked up a piece of the cup. I'm not for sure as to what happened to cause the table to break. I just know that the table flipped and the cup broke. And she was chasing with the cup. And I remember saying something because I just, not to feel like that week or earlier that day or whatever, something about past lives. And I was like, why do you say? I said something about past lives. That's the point. I said something about past lives. So going back, at some point she did cut me, but in the hospital they said it was so deep that I didn't feel it because we had a fireplace, and at some point she had gotten me on the ground by the fireplace, and I didn't know she cut me. Like, it was a mess. It was all over the walls. It was on the pillows, on the front. Like, I'm not even sure how she cleaned it all up. I'm pretty sure somebody would have came to the house. Like, I'm not even sure why nobody came to the house. Like, I don't know. I wish I would have spoke up. So the guy was dating at the time. And I say dating loosely, like we weren't dating, we hung out a lot. He had like a lot of, he was in special classes, like extra special classes, like he had some type of mental disability. His mom, because we went out bowling, I would go out bowling with them. I would walk there because she wouldn't take me. Or his mom would pick me up sometimes. But she was like, there's no way. With the cut that you have, there's no way. Did you try to unalive yourself? I said no. I was adamant about that I fell through glass. I said the glass sliding door, and I fell through glass. And she was like, there's no way that you fell through glass. Because the way how the cut is on your arm, it was more than that. You did not fall through glass. There's just no way. So I was like, no, I fell. I think after that, it kind of, so went to the hospital. I had 12 staples, and I think five or six butterfly tape things after the staples were taken out. So I forever have a scar on my hand, and that hand is I want to get a tattoo over it, but I don't. I've even started feeling, anyway, getting off track again. So yeah, so talking about it with my siblings later on, it was like, oh, if this would have never happened months prior, then she would have never reacted that way. And in my head, I'm like, you're justifying the fact that she wasn't even mad at me. She was mad at somebody else, and she took her anger out on me. Not to mention, it's not the first time. Like, she almost chopped my pinky off because I took one braid out of my head. She sat on me. I strongly believe that she broke a rib. I never went to go get it checked out, or she did something, because ever since, like, for a year or two after that, like, every time I ran, I would feel something poking me. And that was because, like, I didn't feel like getting the scissors, or I couldn't find the scissors or whatever, and I had used a knife to open something in my room, and then, I didn't feel like getting up with the knife back, so I had tucked it under my mattress so I wouldn't cut myself on it, because I didn't have like tables or anything. So she went on a rampage, flipping stuff out my room and flipping stuff out my room, and she found the knife in the mattress or whatever. So that was the report she sent me. So it's not just one incident, it's several incidents. Like, and I get it, like, you know, whatever happened before that, which I'll go into, that's a whole other story. I'll go into that before that. Whatever happened before, you know, it shouldn't cause her to react the way she reacted about a cup being thrown. So I never felt like I could talk to somebody, and so I started going with therapy like a year ago, but then I had to stop because I didn't have insurance, and I can't talk to the person that did this because, you know, they're not here anymore. They're not, it's a lot for me, and I guess I'm the way I am now because I try to smile at things, I try to let things off, I try to, you know, like I do unintentionally keep my distance from that part of the family, because I don't feel like they think that anything was wrong. They think that I did everything wrong or whatever. And I did do some stuff. Like I'm not completely innocent. I did do some stuff, but it wasn't. The actions doesn't justify what was happening. So that's why I said I would never want to be like her. I never want to be like my mom. I never want to put my kids through that. And I work every day to try not to be that way. Because, yes, I was one of those lucky ones who got adopted into a good home. But at some point, you know, I was well taken care of. I, you know, clothed, fed, had somewhat of a freedom, you know, within the age range. I mean, within the brackets of like safety and stuff like that. I wasn't allowed to have friends with it. I was able to make one friend, and she is my best friend to this day. We met at church, I believe. Yeah, I think that's the first time we met was at church. And then we just became friends. After that, like, we had a group of friends, and it started out with 4 of us, and now it's just us 2. The other 2 just, one stopped talking to me. I believe the reason is because, like, I had asked her baby daddy some questions about her, and then she had, like, I had told her a conversation that I had with, like, her aunt. It was a family friend for both of us, like, both her mom and my mom was a friend of this lady, and we always hang out at this lady's house. We call her aunt. So they were telling me, you know, oh, her mom is thinking about, you know, sending her, because I believe they had moved away at that point, sending her back to Florida. And so I had reached out to her and said, hey, so I heard that your mom is, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I guess, you know, after that, her son's father is not his actual father, but they ended up having like other kids together. So he used to reach out. He doesn't reach out anymore. At one point, I believe they got married. They're not married now, I believe. She had changed her Facebook, so I can't keep in contact with her. The other friend, she just kind of drifted off when she got to high school. She started hanging out with the popular kids and didn't want to hang out with us anymore, so it left me and my best friend, and we stuck together ever since. So I know I've been all over the place with this, you know, story or whatever. But we both vowed that we would not be like our parents. We would not do the stuff our parents did to our kids, to us, to our kids. And, you know, it's not okay. If there's, you know, if your parents doing something and everybody in your parents' group of friends are doing the same thing, reach out, talk to somebody. You know, maybe it's not okay, maybe it's, you know, it's difficult or whatever, but do. I mean, nowadays people can call CPS. Back then it was, I guess, basically unheard of. So yeah, you know, just and get help. If you feel like you have trauma, get help. I'm not able to see a therapist at the moment, but I do write, I do do these videos talking about stuff. I try to keep it lighthearted. This is probably the most heaviest video I've done. If my sister sees this, I'm sorry, but that's my perspective about what happened and what I went through. But yeah, so that was me making breakfast for my kids and talking about a heavy discussion. So hope to see you guys later. Peace.